Hey everyone, I have a question for you. Do you enjoy looking at things that bring you back to a better time in life and give you that special feeling of nostalgia? Well, if you answered yes, then this video is definitely for you. Today I'm coming to you from Bill's Old Bike Barn, located in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. And the reason we're here today is we're going to check out an amazing motorcycle collection, relics, antiques, and old vintage items. I guarantee that this video is going to put a smile on your face. So without wasting any more time, let's get inside and check it out. If I'm not mistaken, I believe these little boats came from Knoebels when they removed it from the boat tag. I remember sitting in one of those, operating it. It was a gas-powered engine, and you used to shoot little like tennis balls at people outside of the water tank. They were shooting balls at you. You used to shoot back at them with those little cannons. I think that's where these are from. There's two of them here. This one and this one here. I'll find out for sure inside when I speak to the owner, but my first hunch is that I recognize these. I think they're from Knoebels. First initial thoughts, this place is incredible. I have a feeling this is going to be a longer video. I'm going to show you as much as I can, but I'm not going to show you each and every single item. That way you can come down and check it out for yourself and see all there is to take in, because this video is not going to do this place justice. But what we're looking at here is a collection of keychain tags, locks, license plates, and they're from all over. You almost don't even know where to look because there's stuff everywhere. So basically, if you're into relics or unique items, vintage items, this place is going to be right up your alley. You got a huge selection of door handles, knobs. Maybe got horses here from, looks like some playgrounds or maybe carousels. But the main reason we're here today is for the amazing motorcycle collection. I'm just blown away. Like everywhere you look, floor to ceiling, there's something to look at. And I'm sure I'm going to miss items in the video. You're probably going to be watching this and say, hey, you didn't show me that, but I'm just trying to take everything in for myself. So just bear with me. I'll do what I can, and hopefully you guys enjoy the footage. Looks like they even have a little gift shop in there too. I don't know if you could get upstairs or not. You may be able to, but look at, there's masks up there in the ceiling. Pinball games right above me. Evel Knievel, Daredevil stunt set. I mean, this is really what you call utilizing your space. And I've watched one or two previous videos where they spoke with the owner, and from my understanding is that pretty much every motorcycle here is in operating condition. When they bring the bikes in, they restore them and have them ready to go. Not necessarily that they are going to run them, but it's easier to restore them when they first get them in than to let them sit for 10 or 20 years and try and restore them later on. So every bike we're going to see is pretty much in pristine condition, and most likely pretty close to being in operating condition. They even have a bike here you can have a chance to win in a raffle. And I think majority of the bikes here are Harley Davidsons. The one I've learned is that the owner actually bought out several Harley Davidson dealers in the area throughout the years, and he acquired their stock, their inventory. So That's why we're probably going to see a lot of Harleys here, and why they're in top condition, because he acquired a large supply of new old parts. I'm pretty sure we could walk upstairs, so I'm going to leave the upstairs view for later on in the video. I'm going to focus just on what's down here right now. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time in one area because there's a lot to see here. It's almost overwhelming. This is my kind of section here. It looks like some coal mine tools of the trade, carbide helmets. That's the TNT box. They'd raise that handle, push the plunger down, and that would set off the blasting caps and explosives. This is just really something else. That's an old sign right there, Ringling Brothers, because they're, as you know, no longer a traveling circus. They ended their business due to basically people complaining about the mistreatment of animals. You know how I said everywhere you look? Well, look up here. Faucets. I think these are all brass. Even look like maybe some taps. And the stuff isn't like rusty or decayed, it's in top-notch condition. There's even some insulators up there. And on the ceiling right above us, we got some center caps for the rims. I know there's probably a better name than center caps, but that's what they are. And here we have some old advertisements for Michelin. I remember seeing this before. This is actually an air compressor that you're able to, I don't know if they gave it away as when you were a customer or if you were able to purchase it, but that is an actual working air compressor. Got some kind of unique items made out of miscellaneous parts, spark plugs and chain for a helicopter, and dozens of spark plugs for some type of little, maybe that's a turtle. But this is the kind of stuff that people like crave to find, to collect, especially on shows like American Pickers. Maybe go nuts for stuff like this. And as you can see, there's room after room, so we'll dive down that way a little bit later. Look at these ships here. I mean, these are incredible. I don't know what scale these are, but highly detailed. And here we probably have just about every type of emblem that you can imagine. There's got to be easily over 100 here, if not a couple hundred. I mean, some of these you don't even see anymore unless you actually find the car, like Diplomat, Pinto, Comet, and these are all old vehicles. Mike will appreciate that one, Cordoba, because he actually has one of those he's trying to sell. Grand Fury. A lot of these names I haven't heard or seen in decades. Chrysler New Yorker. So now let's show some of the bikes here. Here's a beautiful trike. I think this was an item that was made by a gentleman that used to work for him. I believe he owned his own Harley dealership, and Bill bought his dealership out and hired him as an employee, and he helped with the restoration of bikes, and I believe this is one of his. And the gentleman, I believe, passed away, so this may be the last one that he ever worked on. But there's a picture of how it looked. And you can see how it looks now. Big difference. So that's Bill, the owner. I just spoke with him, and he did confirm there's 2 boats outside are from Knoebels from the boat tag, so I knew I recognized those. And he did confirm too that we could walk around the 2nd floor, that it goes around. There's actually 3 buildings here. This is, I believe, the 2nd building we're in. The 1st building where it all started is through that hallway there, which is more or less the military room. And we'll check that out in a little bit. But I'm just looking here. We got a different carburetors hanging, the hood ornaments. I mean, I personally could spend all day here and probably not see everything. I'm just that overwhelmed with how much is here. I've seen collections before, even on TV, but nothing this, you know, highly detailed, enormous, in-depth, and such a variety of things. Like, it's not just bikes. There's rides, you know, old rides, toys. I just saw faucets, keychains. He collects everything and anything, and it's stuff you may never see in your lifetime. Look at even right here, these old Halloween costumes. Look at this one here, that's Robin Williams as Mork and Mindy. Nanu. He used to always do this in it. God, I've never seen that before. It looks like we got the tiger from I'm drawing a blank here. With the Tin Man and everything. Wizard of Oz. Sorry about that. Tom and Jerry. And you can see up on top, you know, he's got oil cans, superhero costume boxes. Just everything here is just incredible. Even a nicely restored barber's chair. So back to the bikes. As I mentioned before, these are in top-notch condition. I mean, it looks like you could basically hop on it, start it up, and go for a ride. There's a neat little mini bike I used to have. I had my first mini bike when I was 7 years old. I had a Honda 50. It is a 3-speed automatic. It says Cushman Eagle. Cushman's the same company that makes golf carts. First time I ever saw one of those. Yeah, look at this. 1962 Harley Topper. This looks more or less like a scooter. Has the sidecar in it. I'm just looking behind here. We got a collection of scales. I wasn't joking when I said he collects everything. Here's some smaller scales. We got trophies up on top. So if you guys have, you know, a niche for things like this, like household items, unique things, then you definitely want to come here and take this all in for yourself. I mean, words and the video that you're watching does not do this place justice. Now, the thing that really catches your eye here is this makeshift carousel right in the middle of the floor. And they've got some older, it's like wood carved horses and some kind of creepy dolls. Not a big fan of little dolls like that, but I can appreciate their worth and their value. Even this large banner in the middle, I mean, it's covered floor to ceiling with circus advertisements and signage and all things related to circuses. It looks like maybe a Sportster. I used to own a Sportster. This one here says Zima. Zima Lady. It's a little one-cylinder engine. Another little mini bike Benelli. 65cc. It's an older Indian bike. It's got the suicide shifter on it. This almost looks like a hearse motorcycle. It's got a nice little covered sidecar. That'd be pretty neat to sit in there and ride in that. You even got a helicopter up there. It almost looks like it's one of those little coin-operated helicopters that you'd see outside of like a shopping mall or a supermarket. They kind of just rock back and forth. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but that's what it resembles. They even got a little fishing collection here with the marlin up there, lures, a boat. And I believe that's an alligator. This is pretty cool. This is something you would see like in the Titanic. Now look at that. spiral staircase covered in fishing reels. That's crazy. Older outboard motors, Evinrude. And speaking of the Titanic, there's a poster for it right there. There's even a little room here we could go into with some more items. Jeez, this is mind-blowing. So if you're a fisherman, you'd definitely appreciate this room. That's looks like some type of old steam-powered engine. It's actually a steam-powered, I believe steam-powered motor for a boat, because looks like there's the propeller right there. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it is. And there's bullets. Look at the different calibers and sizes. I mean, even when you look up through the rafters here, I mean, there's water skis, lanterns. Looks like maybe shrimp or lobster cages, just everything. Sorry if I am going too fast for you guys, but like again, there's just, I've only seen a small section of it so far, and we're probably at least 20 minutes into this video, I'm guessing, if not longer. Tweety Bird fishing kit. This bike right here jumps out at me. So we got some scooters here, and then this yellow beast of a bike. I don't know what this is. Looks like maybe a lawnmower engine. It's like a custom built chopper. And here we have a little utility scooter. It's like a combination of a golf cart and scooter. And Cushman, so that's why it does resemble that. Looks like maybe they used to use these maybe to, like, I'm just going to speculate here, but maybe to sell beverages out of it, like Coke or, you know, water or something like that at a, maybe around town or something. Could be wrong, but that's what it resembles. And here we have some type of animal from the ride. There may be a playground, but that might be from a carousel. And as you can see, this place just keeps going. We're still in the first building. And there looks like a Plinko, I think it's a Plinko Kachinko machine, I think it's called. Now while you're here, you can stop into the Quick Take Barbershop. And believe it or not, you can actually go in these and look and check them out. This is like stepping into a time capsule. Obviously on a smaller scale, but this is how an old barbershop would pretty much look like, with the old tools, advertisements, different products, and tools for the barber. I think that's either like a sterilizer for the tools or maybe for the hot towels. And I walked right by this. This is a kid's barber seat that has a little horse on it, almost like a carousel seat. And look at that old radio. Blog Punk. I think that's still a company that's in business today. And here I am. Okay, so I think we covered most of the first building that we came into here. We're going to head into what is known as the first building where it all started, and it's more of a military collection. So we're going to head in there now, check that out, and then we'll make our way upstairs, around the perimeter, and then to the final building that we saw down the end there. Still a lot more to see, so stay tuned, and I hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, give it a thumbs up. Okay, so we walk down this corridor here that's of course loaded with items. Lots of photos and looks like maybe magazine covers. And some more emblems. Oh, we got a collection of Steins here. Oh, look at that, the Fonz. Fonzarelli. Then we got a little figure of him right there. I mentioned earlier that Bill bought out a Harley dealer and he hired him here to restore the bikes. Well, that's the gentleman right there. From my understanding, he was a very talented individual. And over here you can find some other items, almost like artifacts, old leather jacket, pins, pictures, documents. Even got a grandfather clock here. Okay, now this is really looking intriguing and mind-blowing. What's the first thing that catches your eye? Well, for me, it's that little bus-looking thing right there, Moto Guzzi. Look at that thing right there. I mean, that is a beast. It's got some tracks over the wheels, large tanks. That thing's built to like take down a building. That's got to be kind of hectic to drive. It actually has a steering wheel as compared to handlebars. Some of you may recognize this type of equipment or these bikes, but stuff like this I've never seen before. Never knew it even existed.
They made a toy out of
Yes.
that's what we had when we were kids, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Now we had all over the place.
So here's a really awesome looking piece.
You yell at me when you're rude.
It's okay. See, actually, it's like a bike in there. I'm going to turn my light on and show you better. There, now you can see. It's an actual bike in there with this frame encased around it, the shell. That is really awesome. It's got a little bed and back so you carry items.
That little chrome piece there on this side here. That was the only place where the number was. It's not on American, that number is over. This comes off a sports. That plate there was the only place that had the number. Oh, here it is.
Alright, Moto Guzzi, I think that's a moped. It's got the pedals on it to start going, get the RPMs up, and then you would engage the engine with one of the levers on the handlebars and it would maintain your speed. Jeez, look at this typewriter. It says graphotype. I mean, I'll give you a pan around from here. I mean, I'm just going to stop describing it because you guys already get the point. I mean, if we came here, if I came here today and this was the only building that there was to tour, that's impressive enough. I mean, this one room alone is amazing. I mean, you got everything from airplanes to motorcycles to, excuse me, to military items to everything else. And it's just something that, you have to really see in person to appreciate. But again, my point being, if it was just this one room, that would be enough. But knowing that there's 3 buildings here and like one after another is even more impressive. It just, I can't really understand it. Like it's hard to understand. But if I didn't mention too, it only costs $5 to come here and view all this. They're open certain days of the week, and anytime that they're open though, it's just $5. You come in, walk around at your own leisure, and take as many pictures, videos, and hang around as much as you want. Obviously within their operating hours, but you're not rushed out of here. You can really take your time and appreciate it. That's pretty neat. Wow, I thought that was a Honda. That's actually a Harley Davidson. That looked like a street and trail bike, like a Honda or Yamaha, but that's a first for me. I've never seen a Harley like that. Harley dirt bike or dual sport. Got the extra fuel tanks on it, and looks like a gun case. It's amazing. Over here in the corner, we got a pretty cool little display here. So much to look at. And here's something pretty cool. We got a snowmobile, Harley Davidson snowmobile at that, with a pull behind sled. Learning a lot here today. I never knew Harleys made snowmobiles. This bike here resembles from Indiana Jones' Last Crusade. It even has 2 tow-behind carts. Look at those. I think those are old Harley walkie-talkies. I don't know how old they are, but they look old. Let's see. Oh, it looks like those are donated from someone out of New Jersey. Gotta say, Harley Davidson sure knew how to market the brand, because they made all types of items with their name on it. Keychain pistols. I mean, that little sign alone is rare to see, but knowing that they're all there, that's even more crazy. These are like brand new old items. A lot of John Wayne memorabilia. Working our way around back, we got a knife collection. Some more items up on top here. Some, what's that? Show all kit. Auto former kit. Model planes. Again, this is just going to be more or less a brief overview, even though it's not very brief, but I can't honestly stop and look at every item. This would be a 10-hour video. So I'm just giving you a good idea as to what you can expect to find here if you were to come yourself. I definitely will be returning though, because I want to actually come when I'm not filming and really take my time and look at everything, because I know when I watch this video back, I'm going to say, I can't believe I didn't see that. I didn't pay more attention to that. That's pretty incredible. 1913 Harley Davidson. That looks like it's in top-notch condition. I wasn't kidding when I said they really market themselves. They've got even a Harley Davidson chess set. Okay, we checked out the downstairs of the main two buildings right now. We're going to head upstairs, walk around the perimeter of these two buildings, and then we'll finish off with the third and largest of the two buildings. I'm sorry, largest of the three buildings. So follow me upstairs. Got a neat spiral staircase we're going to take up. So let me flip the camera around and give you a good look at this. Well, here we are upstairs of the military room. And here you'll find lots of horses and signs, advertising signs. As well as some bikes that you'll find right along the edge. Here's a good look downstairs. Everywhere you look, there's something to see. This floor is creaking a lot. I don't think it's had someone my size up here in a while. Here we got, looks like a military tent of sorts. Some pedal cars, kiddie cars. And that's a custom walker. It's got some lights on it, mirrors, even a tachometer. And that's for when you're trying to get somewhere in a hurry. Corgi. And aside from having this type of museum here, Bill actually has his own motorcycle repair shop right along the main road. And this is situated behind that building. This is pretty neat. It's like a G.I. Joe recreation. This tricycle, that's pretty neat. It's like a larger than average one. Almost looks like one of those, I forget what they're called, but like the giant front wheel, and it has a really tiny back wheel. You kind of sometimes see them in old movies or circuses. I know there's a name for them, I can't think of it, but that's what it resembles. I mean, these cases here, you could just stand here for a good 5-10 minutes and just look at everything. I never realized how many Harley labeled items there are, or that were created. Even a Harley CB radio, look at that. I mean, for the most part, these are just regular items, and they slap their name and their logo on it, and it's almost instantly worth money. So here's one more look from the top here, and then we're going to make our way through the corridor and head out to the upper level of the main building where we first started. And for all those people out there that like clowns, this display case is for you. They even got their own Harley Davidson pinball machine. They even got a bike made out of wicker. That one's called Supersonic. This is going to be the money shot right here. This is going to give you a great view of the main building that we started in. And even just looking up above me, there's all this here. There's lots of clown stuff here. Here we have our Mardi Gras scene. Even got a bike up there. It's a pedal bike made to look like a motorbike. That looks like it's out of the Jetsons. That's really futuristic looking. That looks like a Cadillac tricycle. Another nice shot from up here. There's even Evel Knievel merchandise right here. If you guys could do me a favor, comment down below with what you have enjoyed seeing so far. Is there any one item that really stuck out to you and brought back memories? Or something that you haven't seen in a long time that really put a smile on your face? Let me know in the comment section. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Okay, so now we're going to continue down the other side here. And of course it's lined with bikes all along it and other items. I think that's an RC plane right there, probably gas powered. Look at this, it's a little two-seater bike, but it's not one solid seat, two individual seats, and there's the pegs for the passenger. And look at this airplane, it's lit up. You can see inside where the cockpit is, first class, and the rest of the seating. Now, do you guys want to see something pretty incredible? Or check this out. It's like its own little town in here. Storefronts, sidewalk, street lamps. This almost like reminds me of like Disney. And I believe some of these buildings, these little storefronts, you can actually go inside of them and check them out. So excited to do that, but we're going to continue up top while we're already up here. This tank, if I'm not mistaken, this looks like one of those rides similar to like at Knoebels where the rides are just fixated on a platform and they rotate around. It's almost like an umbrella ride. Pretty sure that's what that is. Well, it looks like this is my section right here. Cameras and photography items. Got everything from the old Polaroid instance to the older different type of millimeter cameras. Look at this one. Can you imagine making a YouTube video on this thing? I think that's a VHS. These ones here almost look like old movie style cameras. Projection reels. That's like the first, one of the first consumer camcorders you could have bought back in the 80s to 90s. That's definitely VHS. They've come a long way since then. So we're going to continue on past the photo camera items, which there's plenty of. And here we got some projectors. I'm not really specialized in any one item, but my hunch is a lot of the stuff that we're looking at is worth a good chunk of money, especially being in top condition. I remember these little instant cameras. Used to have to manually crank it to advance the next frame. A lot of this stuff definitely brings back memories. You even got your own collection of irons here. I'm just astounded by how many different collections are here. Simply amazing, that's all I could say. It's quite a camera collection here, jeez. Still going. Look at that, party time, instant camera. It's one of the largest camera collections I've ever seen. And believe it or not, still going. On both sides as well. Miscellaneous equipment. Hardy Boys Mystery Game. So we're finally past the camera equipment and getting into some toys now. We even got SpongeBob. My daughter will appreciate this. Pez dispensers, Simpsons, Looney Tunes, Transformers, it's a little darker here, but just some more toys. How many of you guys remember these Rock'em Sock'em robots? Used to fight each other with those little joysticks, and whatever one heads popped off first was the loser. And that robot, I forget his name. Got a pilot there in the airplane. I don't know about you guys, but I'm walking around here with a smile on my face. I mean, it's like being in a whole nother world here. This really takes you to a whole different time in life. And, you know, if you were born in a certain time period, I guarantee there's items here that you could remember and relate to when growing up. I mean, look at this collection of Matchbox cars. Hundreds of them. And he's not even specialized in, you know, toy collections or Matchbox cars. This is just one of the many areas here that you can just find a unique collection of his own. It's almost like wallpaper here with all the cars. And just to think we still have that hole downstairs to check out still. So, hope you guys are sticking with me. There's some older tin toys, it looks like Tinker Toys maybe. Acme. I think that's from A Bug's Life. Over here we got some old cans, Gulf, fuel, oil.